This time on Ask Rad Rat, we're talking about what happened to Black Label and about layback grinds. Welcome to Rad Rat Video. Here on this channel, 3 times a week, we learn something new about skateboarding, videos about trick histories, game reviews, and we also answer your questions on the series Ask Rad Rat. So start thinking up some questions for next time, and let's get right into it. First one I've got for you today is from Zabo, who asks, what happened to Black Label? So Black Label's still around, but he means that they used to have some of the top videos. They're one of the biggest brands, and now they're really small. Like, what happened to them? So I looked it up and I found a press release of them from September 2014, and they talk about going solo, meaning they're handling their own sales and distribution. So what that means is that they kind of became more of a family style company, it seems. You know, if you look at their team, you can see what I mean. You got like Matt Hensley, Salman Agha, Wade Speyer, Omar Hassan, guys who are really important to skateboarding, but they aren't the hot new pros that everyone wants the decks for, you know. So they're more of a skater-focused type of company. They make a lot of different stuff. They make shaped boards. They make all kinds of stuff like that. So the thing is, they are still around. They are still owned by the same people. And they were never sold to China or anything like that. They are still legit. They just decided to focus more on being a smaller group, which I think is kind of cool. You see a lot of groups like that. So if you watched my video on Jeremy Klein, he has his own little company and stuff like that. There's a lot of pros that are doing just smaller time things instead of trying to run a massive empire. So that's basically what they're up to right now. They're still out there if you really want one. Next question is from Mike Mack, who asks, could you do an episode on layback grinds? Frontside and backside, did Duane Peters invent them? So the thing is, I don't often talk about stuff that's this far back because the details get too blurry. So if you talk about mid-80s forward, there's video of everything. There's pictures in magazines. There's all kinds of evidence and proof that I can show you and give you a date. This is when this happened. When you get back into the 70s, a lot of stuff is just what somebody remembers 40 years ago, which is kind of not good enough to really make a solid answer. So I did a little bit of research. I found what I could. There's a book series called Skateboarding Legendary Tricks. I have volumes 1 and 2, and they do talk about some of that stuff. There are some inaccuracies in the books, so I'm not going to say 100% this is fact. That's why it's Ask Rad Rat and not a main episode. So I'll tell you what I found. First name that came up was Kelly Lynn, and he's the guy who invented the layback air. So that's like frontside air, but you kind of do a hand plant in the middle, like push yourself away from the coping type of thing. He invented that in 78, but before that, he did layback lip slides in 77. And that's the earliest example of a layback coping trick, grind or slide type of thing that I found. You have Larry Bertelman, who invented the Bert slide. That was in the mid-70s. He wasn't a very public skater. There's not a lot of, you know, film or pictures or anything of that. I could not find a date, even a date range for when that was. I found he was a big surfer in the 60s and 70s. And then, like, that's it. So I don't know exactly when that happened, but I think that might have started the whole layback kind of thing. So that's just slides. You know, if you don't know what a Bert slide is, it's a slide on like a bank where you plant your hand and you kind of do a power slide. So that might have got things moving in that direction a little bit. But again, this is all from surfing, so really who adapted it is more the right way to think about it. There were also Jay Smith and John Stevenson are mentioned in that book as people who were pioneering layback type of slide stuff. But as for the layback grind itself, I did indeed find Duane Peters as doing the frontside version in 79, and then El Gato doing it backside later in 79, and other people doing it to tail. So again, that's kind of what I'm talking about there, where it's just kind of a list. There's other people did it. Some people wanted me to go into more detail about the tail block version and all this kind of stuff, and that information is just not really out there. You know, I don't know anybody who was skating in the 70s who was in California and could tell me all that kind of stuff. So if you know more, let me know. Maybe I can make this into a full video and really expand it and blow it up. But for now, that's really all I know. So if you have questions for next time, you can comment them below, but you're more likely to get answered if you do so on Instagram or Twitter. I have links to those below, simply because I don't get a lot of messages there. So, you know, if I go on YouTube and I check my comments, there's like 300 new ones today. It might get lost in there. I'm more likely to see on Instagram or Twitter. So you can do that. You can comment below. Either way is great, but let me know your comments and your questions, and I'll try to get to them in the next time I record. So until next time, here are some more videos I recorded recently. Here's a playlist of Ask Rad Rats you might want to check out. And don't forget to tap my logo to subscribe so you don't miss out on learning something new about skateboarding 3 times a week. Thanks for watching.